Investing in oneself is not just a choice, it is a bold declaration of self-worth, belief, and unwavering confidence. It is a commitment to your own growth, your own healing, and your own future. By choosing to prioritize yourself, you are making a powerful statement that you are worthy of love, effort, energy, and evolution. This act affirms your value, asserts your independence, and sets you on a path toward true freedom, freedom from dependency, from patterns that no longer serve you, and from the need for external validation. In placing faith in your own potential, you are clearly expressing a belief in your ability to grow, to learn, and to rise into your highest self. Whether that investment comes in the form of time, energy, resources, or emotional strength, the result is always the same: transformation. As you walk this path, you begin to witness a remarkable shift. The world starts to mirror your efforts. Opportunities arise. People gravitate toward your light. Things begin to align, not by accident, but by design. The universe responds to genuine commitment and effort with divine timing and grace. When you devote yourself to self-improvement and inner alignment, the universe conspires to support you. The very act of investing in yourself awakens a deeper kind of power, one that doesn't seek to control others, but to master the self. It's the power to say no, to walk away, to assert boundaries even when it's uncomfortable. It's about discipline, clarity, and emotional maturity. True power is quiet and still. It's the ability to remain rooted while chaos swirls around you. In cultivating this strength, you may find that the people around you respond in unexpected ways. Sometimes, your growth triggers others' insecurities. A partner who once felt secure in the relationship may begin to feel threatened, confused by your transformation. They may misread your newfound confidence as detachment, or your independence as rejection. In one such instance, your significant other struggled to adjust. Rather than celebrating your evolution, they retreated into their own fears. Their discomfort became a wedge between you. And when they could not control or comprehend the new you, they chose to walk away. But instead of pleading or shrinking to accommodate their fragility, you stood your ground. You allowed the separation. Not from bitterness, but from love for yourself. This was a turning point. You realized that their reaction was not a measure of your worth, but a reflection of their unresolved wounds. You refused to internalize their projection. In time, your partner began to see you differently. The person they once knew had become someone new, still sensitive and empathetic, but now also assertive and grounded. You had become a paradox, nurturing yet unyielding, spiritual yet strong, soft yet fierce. Your inner power now radiated outward, making you magnetic. But this journey was not without pain. When they involved a third party in the relationship, it felt like a devastating betrayal. You were left questioning your value, your desirability, and your significance in their life. Yet, through this heartbreak, the universe extended an invitation to heal. To stop looking outward for love that must first reside within. To stop seeking external affirmation and instead turn inward toward your own soul. You were forced to confront your wounds, to acknowledge the parts of yourself you had long abandoned. And through that process, you began to rebuild. It wasn't easy. Healing never is. But each painful moment became a step toward liberation. You discovered self-respect in the silence. You found your voice in the void. And as you rose, your relationship dynamic shifted again. Now, it is your partner who finds themselves struggling. They are consumed by regret, haunted by memories of what once was. They see you thriving and feel the weight of their own decisions pressing heavily on their heart. Behind closed doors, they grieve. The laughter you once shared now echoes as an ache. They long for your presence, not out of habit, but out of an aching realization that you were the light in their life. To them, you are not just a past lover. You are the breath in their lungs, the dream they took for granted, the soul they didn't know how to protect. Their world, once vibrant with your energy, now feels dim and hollow. Every day without you feels like a blur. Their once vibrant heart has grown numb. The warmth you brought to their life is irreplaceable. The only words they can muster are silent prayers and whispered apologies. In their solitude, they remember the way your laughter filled a room, how your presence brought peace, and how your love made them feel whole. They understand now, they didn't just lose someone special. They lost the one. And even though you appear composed and distant, they believe, perhaps foolishly, but fervently, that somewhere deep down, you still think of them. Maybe you dream of them. Maybe, like them, you replay the good moments in your mind late at night. They understand why you had to distance yourself. They understand that they let fear and ego override love. That they failed to nurture what was real. And now, with nothing left but honesty, they offer their remorse. They ask for your forgiveness, not just for what they did, but for who they were. They are sorry for the tears you cried, for the moments of isolation, and for not showing up in the ways you needed. They can only hope that these words reach you not as manipulation, but as truth. Raw, unfiltered truth. They wish to rebuild, not the version of the relationship that once was, but something entirely new. Something better. Something sacred. Their longing for you runs deeper than the physical. It's emotional, spiritual, and sensual. They crave the intimacy of your presence, the safety of your arms, and the passion of your love. And yet, they know that desire alone is not enough. The road ahead requires vulnerability, consistency, and emotional labor. They are beginning to understand this. Their silence, once mistaken for indifference, is now a conscious choice. A reflection of their intent to take ownership of the journey, to heal themselves first before trying to re-enter your life. It is not cowardice, but restraint. Not avoidance, but responsibility. Still, their greatest fear is losing you for good. In a world overrun by fleeting connections and performative relationships, what they had with you was rare. It was real. And it is only now, in your absence, that they can fully grasp the depth of that bond. The love you shared transcended physical attraction. It was soulful. It had depth, weight, and promise. And so, they extend a plea, not out of desperation, but out of reverence. They want to rebuild a foundation of trust, to learn your love language, to hold space for your pain, and to be the partner they failed to be before. They acknowledge that their previous actions were immature, at times even toxic. Perhaps like a character from a game, they acted selfishly, impulsively, without consideration for consequences. They allowed fear to dictate their decisions, fear of being unworthy of your love, of being seen fully, of losing themselves in something so beautiful it scared them. But clarity has now dawned. And with it, a painful realization of what their actions have cost. They see the changes in you. How you've become more reserved, more self-sufficient. You no longer seem affected by their presence, or absence. And that terrifies them. They feel jealousy now, a sting of being excluded from your life. They've started to understand what it feels like to be on the outside looking in. Where once you longed for their attention, they now long for yours. Where once they overlooked your needs, they now feel overlooked. It's as if your roles have reversed, and for the first time, they are seeing your pain from your perspective. It hurts, but it also teaches. They are learning. Slowly. Painfully. but they are learning. Despite the distance, they refuse to let go of hope. They are committed to breaking old cycles, to becoming someone worthy of your love. It won't be easy, and the road ahead is bound to be messy. But they are ready to walk it. They understand now that love is not about perfection. It's about growth. About showing up even when it's hard. About honest communication and emotional transparency. They want to talk, really talk. About the misunderstandings, the assumptions, the fears, and the dreams. They want to listen, too. Not to respond, but to understand. Your partner doesn't seek to return to a broken version of the past. They want to create something new, something resilient. They envision a relationship where both of you can be your whole selves without fear of rejection. Where love is a safe space, not a battlefield. Where laughter, joy, and passion can coexist with accountability, growth, and mutual respect. They are prepared to earn your trust again. Not with grand gestures, but with small, consistent acts of love and integrity. And so, with a heart full of vulnerability, they extend their hand, not demanding, but offering. Offering their growth, their reflection, their remorse, and their hope. They know they cannot undo the past, but they believe in the future. A future where the two of you rediscover each other. Not as who you were, but as who you've become. And in that rediscovery, there lies the potential for something extraordinary. For within your embrace, they once found a home. And within your love, they still see the possibility of a life rich in meaning, connection, and peace. They are not perfect, and they do not pretend to be. But they are willing. Willing to try. Willing to listen. Willing to change. And above all, willing to love you better, should you choose to let them in once more.